People love prediction magic. So today I'm going to show you guys a hot prediction you could show your friends and get their approval socially. So for this, you use a deck. The spectator takes this out. They can mix this up as much as they want, and you spread the deck on the table, and you say, I'm going to make a little bit of a prediction here. Now, again, this is one of these organic bits of magic you see on those adverts all the time. So you could use whatever you want as a prediction. You find a Sharpie, maybe you find some flarp, and then you're going to write the prediction on the flarp here. So you know, you got to just obviously I don't want you to see it because then it's going to ruin the trick here. So let me see if I could write this on the flarp here. Okay, that's 1. That's 2. And then that's 3. And then that's 4. So I'm gonna leave this to dry here, right over here in full view, so you know that I can't possibly be a cheating cunt. And now we're gonna have a couple cards touch here. So you go up to one spectator and you say, hey sir, could you put down the child and please touch a card? Yeah, fantastic here. And they forego any sort of inclination to go to jail and they touch a card here. Another one touches a card. You say, hey sir, could you touch a card and put down the spoon? That's great. You sir, touch, you guessed it, another one, and this spectator touches this card. So now we have 4 cards here, touched by 4 different spectators, much like, so these cards are then removed from the deck and very cleanly displayed to the spectator as you not changing the order of these cards whatsoever. But let's see what happened here. So the spectator touched these cards, and the predictions are as follows. Fuck. All right, so they're smothered a little bit, but let's see what we got here. So we have a 3 of hearts. Wow, this is phenomenal here. Great job here. We have a Q and what looks like to be a stroke, some sort of stroke. I imagine it stands for a heart. It's Queen of Hearts. So correct so far. Good job, Piggy. A 5 and a 7, as you can see by the other mark here. But you say, wait a second. Oh, I'm getting more vibrations here. Yeah, I think I just got a major vibration here. I'm gonna make another prediction. I'm gonna take the flarp and I'm gonna just add something here to the prediction here. I don't want you to see what I'm doing, but I've added something to the prediction here. So far, let's see if we can make this happen. So, sir, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna show you all these cards here, but I'm actually gonna put them face down here. So we have all these cards face down over here, and what I want you to do is you're gonna pick cards out here to eliminate. So I want this to be clear. We're not using any one of those magician techniques here to you know, whittle you down and break you psychologically to pick a certain card. Whatever card you touch is gonna be the card we're gonna eliminate here. So which card do you want to eliminate? This one, great job. Fuck it. Another card, this one, that one. You know what? That card touched me inappropriately, so fuck that card. This one, gone. So we're left with this card over here on the table. And remember, I made a prediction here before we started, and the card that you happen to leave here on the table is the 3 of hearts, which, by the way, I don't know if you believe this or not, but remember on the flarp I said I made one additional prediction here, and as you could see, I circled the 3 of hearts. I circled the 3 of hearts because I knew that was going to be the card, sir. So get the fuck out of here. Clearly, obviously, I just made some psychic predictions. So what world are you living in, huh? I hope your reality's shattered here, because whatever school you went to, guess what? Doesn't matter. I just proved everything wrong here. And then after you belittle the spectator, you know, they leave and you go on your separate ways, and you explain this on your YouTube channel here. So here's the explanation for this trick. I'm going to try to use, you see the method here. So I'm going to use these cards here just so I don't have to rewrite the prediction on Flarp, because if you haven't guessed it, this little stupid gag here is very, very annoying to do. So that's a 3, a queen. We're going to put a 5 here. This is from a shuffled impromptu deck, so it doesn't matter these cards. I'm just going to use this so they match the prediction here. But these, yeah, the spectators shuffle the cards however they want, and then you're going to spread the cards over here on a table and say, oh, I'm going to make a little bit of a prediction here, sir. I'm going to try to gauge your vibrations and see if we could kind of make a connection here, us two. So you say, oh, that's all right. Obviously what I'm doing is that I'm taking the bottom 4 cards here, the 3, the queen, the 5, and the 7, and that's going to be my prediction. But I'm touching the cards over here in the middle. I'm giving no inclination that it's going to be these cards over here, because you're going to do one of my favorite moves here, the substitute transfer, or the Laplace switch. So that's the 2 different hot moves we're going to try here. The no-lap switch, sorry. God, idiot. So that's what we're going to do in a moment. But for now, you grab your whatever you can, and you write the cards in order here. So 3 of hearts, queen of whatever, 5, and 7. And you set this face down, and you're ready to rock here. So you're going to spread these cards and get a break underneath the 4 cards in the bottom here. You're going to get a break above it, sorry. So you're going to have 4 cards and then your little pinky over here. And you're going to do this as you spread the cards and say, oh, we're going to have you guys make some selections here. The reason I do this is because usually the break is done after. So you pick up the deck, and what I've seen before is that the magician spreads the cards here. They have the cards touched. Then they get to the bottom 4 and apparently contemplate life and then score the deck up. You don't want that. So you want to do that from the beginning here. So, you know, under the pretense of saying, oh, we're going to have cards selected. And if you want and you're obnoxious, you could do the pinky pull down or whatever you practice. But this is just an easy way of getting a little bit of a pinky break there. By the way, this just it's crediting's sake. This routine is kind of inspired by something that I saw Jay Sankey do about 1,000 years ago using the same no-lap switch or substitute transfer. But he makes a prediction using Paul Curry's switch or no-switch thing. I wanted a version here that I can make another prediction, because if there's something that spectators love more than a climax, it's to climax twice. So this is my attempt for that. So you have the spectators touch 4 cards here. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and this is 4 over here. So what's going to happen is usually in the substitute... Oh, man, my soul's coming out of me there. Usually in the substitute transfer, what happens is these cards are skewed to the left here. Then the cards are squared up. These cards down here are dragged underneath as they pull these cards out. I don't like that action here. So what I like to do is square the deck up. The cards are naturally going to be facing this way. So instead what I do is that I come at it from a sort of Hindu grip position here. So if you're from the Isle of Hindu, this would be infinitely easier for you. So what I do, remember, you have the pinky break here. You have 4 cards out jogged. I reach with my dirty little hands here, and I grab the deck, and I don't grab these cards. If you grab these cards, it's going to be hard. So I suggest you don't do that. You grab the deck here. And what's going to happen is that I'm just going to slide my hand up to grab these cards like this. I'm going to just grab these cards. But guess what? These cards underneath are writing as I grab those cards. You see, this is what's happening. So as I'm grabbing those cards, usually what would happen is that I would just, you know, grab them and pull them out. But because you have a little bit of a pinky break here, these cards naturally slide, and you're gonna grab these other cards over here. So you're gonna grab these cards and strip them out. Of course, your pinky is gonna be retaining the break. Now, for this particular switch or routine, usually these cards are just put back on top of the deck, re-gripped, and then put aside. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take this deck and flip it face up on top of the rest of the cards here. And, of course, maintaining my break. I'm going to lift up everything and spread these cards. These are now the new switched cards. And the other cards are here face up in the back of the, face down in the back of the face up deck here. So in action, what's happened is that I've just switched those cards out in a pretty natural sort of action here. So the cards are touched here. Just to reiterate here, the cards are touched. Then I'm going to remove these, turn this face up, and put this back on the table as I spread these cards. So again, you have two things working for you here. Because you're putting the deck face up and then you're putting it back down, and you still see face down cards here, there's kind of a disconnect in the spectator's mind here. But what you have here now are, you guessed it, the cards from the bottom that you switched out in the order on the prediction. You see oh man, oh shit, if you haven't hit any button by now, you're really missing out on quality content, you fucking. So before I go off, now you could show the prediction here to match, and you show 3 of hearts, queen, 5, and 7, and then you say, man, you did fantastic, sir. I don't know how you managed to touch all those cards. And then you go, oh, wait, oh, and then you feign having some sort of action taking place here, you know, whatever psychic vibrations you want to say, and you say, oh, I have one more, there's one more thing I'm getting. Oh man, there's a lot of things happening, but there's one more thing that's happening here that's gonna hopefully, oh, we'll try this. And then you grab your prediction, and whatever the lowermost card is, in this case is the 3 of hearts, that's the one you're gonna circle. So it's gonna be the first card here. You're gonna circle that one and put it down. The reason you're gonna circle that card is because that's going to be the card that's going to be left over when we do our little switch here. You caught that? There's a switch here. So you're going to lift up the deck. You're going to lift up these cards, turn them face down, and put them at the face here. So now these cards are over here. But really the situation is you have the 4 cards that you predicted, followed by 4 more cards here that are the original X cards that the spectators touched. Now, a cool little subtlety here is that if you just leave these cards fall naturally, if you just put your thumb on the side here and just let the rest of the deck fall naturally, you're actually going to get a break underneath the 8 cards that is this little fat stock here. Obviously, you're not going to make a big deal about this, but because of the natural bend, you're going to be able to get a break there naturally and not have to do some weird countdown or some weird pinky pull down here. So all you got to do is just hold the deck at the sides here, let the deck fall naturally, and you're going to have a break there. Every time. The ingenuity here is unbelievable. So now you're going to spread these cards off like this, keeping careful not to spread off too much. You're going to put your little fingers here in the break as you turn everything over. So now notice you're turning over this packet of 8 cards is 4. So you're going to show these cards. You're going to turn everything over, and now you're going to deal out the 4 cards that they originally touched. So now all the cards here are the original cards, but the only one that matters here is the 3, which is going to be on top. So you have the spectator point to whichever card they want to eliminate. You put it in the middle of the deck. Then they do this until you're left with 1 card left on the table, and you're going to point at this card as you get a little bit of a break here, again, doing whatever method you want, and say, oh, see, look, this is the 1 card we have left. Remember my prediction. See, this is my motivation for putting the card back on the deck, because I'm pointing at the prediction that's been there the entire time. So now we have a break underneath 2 cards, from the top, and see, this is a 3. You wouldn't want to show that, but we have a break under 2 cards here. We're going to do a double lift and say, oh, you left the 3, which is great because that's the one that I happen to circle. Do you see I'm inside of you right now. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm inside of you. You have no free will. You know, that whatever pattern point you want, but you're able to do not only a killer prediction, but also a second killer prediction here. 2 predictions for 1. That's some hot heat. That's some heat there. So that's the trick. You practice it well. Really, the hardest thing you need to learn here is the substitute transfer, which is a very useful move. You could do it with 2 cards, 3 cards, 4 cards, but you're switching out packets of cards here, unbeknownst to the spectator. Great, hot move there. So you practice that. You do all the YouTube things that people do, including maybe checking out certain products that I'm selling because I'm a shill. You might want to do that. I'm going to go... I'm going to go Let's see if I could. Yep, that works. That definitely works. I'll be back.
See you again. When I 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 see you again.